just to be able to run this building without fossil fuels, wouldn't you? Let's do that as a starting point. That we can do this year and next if we get moving.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being so open-minded. So over these last few weeks, ever since I really fell down the Dr. Greer rabbit hole, I have been attempting to contact ETs on my own. Basically listen to any CE5 protocol meditations online are posted from reliable sources. I also created my own meditation because I feel like the more I connect to the experience personally, the more success I'll have. It's been about 3 weeks. I haven't been able to make any kind of contact. So I'm hoping by publishing this video and spreading awareness about extraterrestrials, maybe they'll come visit me. I don't know. I felt this was necessary to post this video because it's part of my own personal story and growth. Joining me on this journey, because the more of us there are, the better. Going to help the collective community, help the collective consciousness, move us forward as a global community. There's just so much to everything that we're not seeing, and actually be awake to what's going on in government, in our world, with extraterrestrials outside of our world. Continue practicing the CE5 protocols, and I'll keep you updated on if I make any connections. You asked me this a few years ago, if I was willing to try to contact extraterrestrials. I would say you're out of your mind. You're crazy. And because I was always so fearful. And now Dr. Greer has opened my eyes to so much that I can't go back now. I can only move forward with this process, because once you see the truth and the veil is removed, it's kind of no going back. So let's go ahead and go over some information. Start this video about Dr. Greer workings with CE5 protocols and disclosure. A lot of this video is going to be a time lapse of the sky. While I was practicing CE5 protocols, I noticed that when I'm in a deep state of meditation, I almost always have my eyes closed, like completely closed, trying to visualize the connection made with extraterrestrials. I can't see what's going on in the sky or around me while in these deep states, so I thought it was necessary to set up a camera behind me, since I'm alone and I'm not with a team. The feeling that I've been receiving while in meditation has enhanced over time. It's not the same as basic meditation, learning to connect, but doing remote viewing. If you don't know what remote viewing is, you're basically guiding the ETs to your location. If you think about it, the world is so large. So to narrow in from the sky's point of view helps them discover where you are and link to your guided light from the Earth's perspective. More commonly than not, I would meditate out in nature by the water. Water is such a great element to enhance all of your psychic abilities, along with connecting to the Earth's elements. This made my remote viewing much easier for the extraterrestrials because of its waterways. It's a pathway, and it'll help guide them. I did start to notice that when I did meditation at night from my balcony, it encouraged me to look up at the sky more often because you can see the lights better. However, the location I'm in meditating, there's just way too much light exposure. So I'm going to try this practice during the nighttime in an open field in a more accommodating location. My goal here really isn't to see or view any kind of extraterrestrials, although that would be really cool. It's more about letting them know that I'm here to support the collective. I'm here to encourage world peace, global unity, helping the human race evolve, and just participating in the light body consciousness, raising awareness for the greater good. I feel like through these practices, I'm almost gaining their trust and their understanding of who I am as a conscious being here on Earth. I want them to know that this is all for a beautiful connection and it has nothing to do with ego or posting on the internet for lighthearted entertainment. I take it very, very seriously. I've dedicated hours and hours and hours of my time, weeks into months, practicing the CE5 protocol on my own. For the first time yesterday, on August 18th, I finally had a very intense telepathic light connection. The ETs were definitely communicating with me through the water. It was only when I let go completely and I lost connection to my physical body. I was outside of the realm of my own understanding and was connecting with something so much bigger than myself, and they were feeding me direct messages. I wrote down as much as I could immediately after my session and meditation had ended. I knew I would forget if I didn't immediately try to jot down as much info as I could and what they were telling me. I knew this was a different experience because I gather information from my guides, from my higher self, and from my own internal dialogue all the time. I've been meditating for years. This was different because before listening to my internal dialogue, I was receiving that disconnection from my body. And it was almost like I was stuck in a trance connected to the water in the most beautiful, peaceful way. I couldn't see them, but I could see them. I couldn't hear them because there wasn't anybody standing there, but I could hear them. I'm going to continue these practices until I find a community to connect with to help this journey along for the bigger picture. I'm going to insert some clips that intrigued me when it came to Dr. Greer and his practices. Let me know what you think in the comments and what he has to say. Also, let me know if you see anything in this footage that I was unable to catch myself. It was a lot of footage to go through. I was seeing things that I never saw before. I know it sounds crazy, but I was seeing beings in the forest and in the woods and the trees. I felt like the trees could understand me, and I started to connect with all things and beings here on Earth in such an incredible way. During my CE5 practices and meditations, I kept stumbling across these circles on the ground. Granted, they could be just natural spots from things. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
A place of peace, a place of abundance, a place of enlightenment. And we, all of us, and our children that are coming behind us from the other side, we will become ambassadors in the future to other worlds that have come this way and are coming the way we have come. And so the cycle of life continues in the universe, and we are all part of that. I'm telling you, we have to transcend that. We have to look across to that far horizon, that we're going to make it together. We're on this planet together, so we are going to make it through. The only question is how much difficulty, how much tumult, how much catastrophe. And this is totally dependent on what we do with our free will. The ETs are not going to land and make this happen for us. Then we would learn nothing. Really a sacred responsibility, a call to action, a call to do something about this. Not only peaceful contact with interstellar visitors and disclosure, but seeing that we lay the foundation for these technologies to come out to be used for peaceful energy generation, to save our planet from the abyss it is going into, and to alleviate the suffering of the planet. Because for most of the people on the planet today, a third of the planet's population lives on less than $2 a day. It's already a cataclysm. It's already terrible. And if we have any compassion for those people, we will say we will make an effort for them, for all the children of the earth. Because it is only when there is justice and only when there is a certain decent standard of living that we can become a civilized society living in peace. We cannot have peace where 80% of the population is in poverty. And God help us, we need to step into that power and make this change happen. We'll tell you that there are some areas that are valid national security concerns with these kinds of technologies. The electromagnetic systems that would allow you to go from here to, well, let's say Afghanistan and back in 3 or 4 minutes. There are other configurations of the technologies that would allow us to just bring out the energy generation component initially. A lot of people say, let's let everything out all at once. And I tell you, I can only do so much. I would be happy just to be able to run this building without fossil fuels, wouldn't you? Let's do that as a starting point. That we can do this year and next if we get moving. Absolutely, it can be done. People in society and in your own circle who are supportive of new energy research. Nothing will deter us from doing that. And if they give me a national security order to stand down, I will go on CNN and the BBC and your Spanish network, and I will tear it up in front of 1 billion people live. We're the good people of the earth wanting to create a better world for our children and our children's children's children. Going into the future, 500,000 years. Can you hear the children calling you? They're waiting. They're waiting in a cosmic waiting room coming to this planet. If the world had evolved to where it could have been, by 1955, we would have not had surface roads. It would have been like the Jetsons where we're floating along. Absolutely. They were fully operational by then. I have photographs from the late 50s and early 60s of what are called alien reproduction vehicles. These vehicles were fully operational by then. The irony is that, as Bob Dean pointed out, there are 2 space programs. The space program we know about and the space program is secret. Absolutely. We want to hand off one of these devices, fully operational, and about $50 million US in seed funding so you can get it stabilized and secure and out initially to the public. 4,000 patents on these kinds of technologies that have been falling under the National Secrecy Act. If all those people live like you and I do, using the current energy paradigm, long before we collapse the biosphere, we will be going to Mad Max under the Thunderdome, fighting and killing each other for the last barrel of oil. And so the economic system is set up to ensure 80% of the world is in poverty. And this is a crime not only against the earth we are killing, but humanity. What happens when every village in India and Africa can have such a device as I described? I've seen them operate. There's no question they do exist. We need to combine forces. We need to combine this effort. And when we do, then we're going to need to have the strategic leadership to make the run. Such as the Stan Meyer car that was running on water. And then he died suddenly. And his work had a national security order slapped on it before he died. And we've been trying to get them to help let us bring this back out, but it's very difficult. And no energy bill, no pollution. Once you buy it, it costs no more than a heat pump or air conditioning unit. And you have energy for your property for as long as the machine lasts, which if it's built well could be 100 years, 50 years. Wonderful, yes? Well, not for these people. It's wonderful for humanity, for Gaia, the earth.
There are beings from higher dimensions, celestial, angelic, what have you, which also assists with that at times, but that's very different from an ET civilization that is flesh and blood, 3D, to transverse other dimensions to go from point A to B.
I have 755 whistleblowers.
You have 755 whistleblowers?
Yeah. I mean, this archive is unbelievable.
Famous inventor Nikola Tesla came up with a different idea for sending information wirelessly over long distances, conducting an electrical current through the Earth itself.
For anybody curious of the messages that I received while I was meditating. I was born a goddess of this earth, here to spread light and embrace darkness too. Lessons learning, stomachs emotionally turning. Every day has been both sunny and a little tad bit rainy too. So fortunate to be alive, breathing, witnessing this, all of this. Beauty in the mundane. My brother, a beacon of light. Sometimes we do the same light work at the same exact moment, moving the frequencies in our fields. Fear, why so glum? Fear the plum while ripe and ready. Bad day, body shame, why so glum every day? I feel my day every day, in every way, collecting moments, downloading constant streams, living in this stream, time to repeat, release. In my chin, I see him. He who passes along, fear I collect like her forever wrong. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to say thank you for stopping by.